On December 9th, 1531, in Mexico, Our Lady appeared to Juan Diego, a poor, humble Aztec Indian who had converted to the Catholic faith. She asked him to go to the bishop and tell him to build a church where, she said, "I will show and offer all of my love, my compassion, my help, and my protection to my people." Juan Diego did as she asked and went to the bishop. The bishop was a truly holy man, and although he was inclined to believe Juan, he cautiously asked for a sign that this message was really from Our Lady. Juan was worried about his uncle, whom he lived with, who was very ill. He felt he could not abandon his uncle in need and go off hunting for miracles. However, his uncle's condition became worse, and fearing he would soon die, Juan set off on the night of December 12th to find a priest. As he trotted along the road, Our Lady appeared and called to him. Immediately Juan came to her, his heart full of worry for his uncle, and shame that he had not tried to see Our Lady's request was fulfilled. "Do not be distressed, my littlest son. Am I not here with you, who am your mother? Are you not under my shadow and protection? Your uncle will not die at this time. There is no reason for you to engage a priest, for his health is restored at this moment. He is quite well. Go to the top of the hill and cut the flowers that are growing there. Bring them then to me." It was a miracle that the roses were there and in bloom, because there was frost on the ground, and that area was an infertile place where only cactus and thistles grew. After he gathered them, she helped arrange them in his tilma, or poncho, and told him to show them to the bishop. When Juan brought them to the bishop was amazed at the roses, but was even more amazed at what began to happen to Juan Diego's tilma. Right before their very eyes, the image of Our Lady began to form on the cloth. The picture of Mary was beautiful, and the bishop and the other men in his office fell to their knees. Because of this, a beautiful basilica was built to fulfill her request. Juan Diego's tilma, which is made of poor cactus fiber, has a working life of about 15 years, yet is still intact and beautiful today. The colors of the image have not faded, and the cloth has not deteriorated. It has been on display in the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe for nearly 500 years. The image of Our Lady on the tilma was very significant to the Aztec Indians. God had dressed her in such a way that they would immediately understand who she was. She was dressed in royal clothes that showed she was as important as a queen. The color of her skin identifies her as a mestiza, a mixed blood of white Spanish and dark native, presenting herself as the link between the two races as their mother. With the sun at her back and the moon at her feet, the Spaniards recognized her as the woman of the apocalypse, while the native peoples saw her as having power over the bloodthirsty Aztec sun and moon god. She also had the symbol of the cross at her neck, which was the same symbol the Spaniards had on their ships and in the churches they built. She had a black sash tied around her waist, which meant that she was with child, for this was the way the Aztec women dressed when they were pregnant. And on her beautiful dress were all sorts of flowers and designs, but there was one flower on her dress that was most significant. It had only 4 petals. To the Aztecs, the 4-petal flower was the symbol for the true God, the God above all gods. This flower was located on her abdomen, right over the place where Jesus was growing inside of her. The Aztecs immediately understood that this was the mother of the true God.